everybody, and welcome back to the Empire Let's Play series. Between episodes, I have just been hanging out on the dock and doing a whole bunch of fishing. I spent so much time down here, I even built a little place to hang out and to sleep at night. So I added a door, a lantern, and just a little roof there. It's just a tiny little 3x3 space, and it's been really nice. As far as all the loot I've gotten from fishing, let me show you that, and let me show you one other thing here. Check this out. The villagers have taken over, and there are lots of cats now, and there are some iron golems wandering around, and yeah, they have just made a whole bunch of villagers, and they keep taking the jobs. Something else I did, around here somewhere, I trapped an armadillo in here, and this little guy just keeps wandering around and just gets into everything. There he is. But as a result of that armadillo wandering around, I've gotten 34 armadillo scute. And like I said, I got a bunch of really cool loot from fishing. So here you can see we've got a whole bunch of books. We've got some nautilus shells, got some name tags. I did get a couple of fishing rods. So we have a Respiration 3, Fire Protection 3 book. I've got an Unbreaking 3 fishing rod. I have a Sharpness 3 Power 4. I've got a Piercing and Quick Charge, Sharpness 3, Protection 4, and Efficiency 4. That's a pretty good one. Riptide 3. And then I've got a Power 4 Punch 2 bow. And finally, a Luck of the Sea 2 Unbreaking 3 fishing rod. So, starting to get some pretty cool loot. Today we're going to do a few different things. One is we are going to focus heavily on building a base. So right now you can see we just have this little alcove that we're hanging out here, and I want to build this into a full-fledged place for us to stay and store materials. The other thing I want to do today is I want to work on the path. We have just this little bit of a start over here, and I would like to bring it up and over and maybe even figure out how it is going to go and connect over to the jungle and the desert when we eventually move it in that direction. And then finally, I think the last thing I want to do is just do some exploration of the ocean out here. We've got this map, and we've explored the coast just a little bit, but I want to see if there are any shipwrecks or anything out there that might have some cool loot in there as well. But to start off, let's work on our base. I think our base is going to be 11 blocks wide, plus a wall on each side would be 13 wide as far as the building. I'm not sure how far back I'm going to go. And then I think I mentioned that when I was at the beach, I visited a lighthouse, and I was thinking it might be kind of cool to add a little bit of a lighthouse structure here just to sort of overlook our village. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by sketching out the space, and then we'll start working on putting in a floor, a little bit of storage, and figure out where this lighthouse is going to be. Okay, so here's what we've got so far, and I've got some thoughts. I do like this peaked roof. I think it looks really sharp and it really stands out among the village roof line. I don't know if I like the acacia. I thought I was going to like it because it's this sort of gray, slightly different texture than we've done, but it just doesn't quite go. And so I'm thinking maybe stone, like stone bricks might be a nice fit there. Maybe, we call it stripped oak. That might work too. Maybe a combination of the two. So, yeah, I'll try out a couple of things, come up with that. And then I want to take this roof line, all the way up, or this wall here all the way up to the roof line. And then we'll clean this up a little bit so it's not quite so jaggy. And then inside, we're going to have a little bank of chests here, a little bank of chests here. We'll probably come back and there'll be a little bit of a bedroom. And then I will figure out the lighthouse situation in this kind of rear corner back here. We might end up tearing out a little bit of this or restructuring it a little bit, but we'll figure that out when we get there. So quick update, I definitely like the stone better. I just think it goes with the oak and the spruce much nicer, has kind of a classic Minecraft look. And so I'm gonna smelt up more stone, grow some more oak trees so I can finish this roof line, and then we should have at least the front facade of our base done. Okay, I feel pretty good about this. Replaced right around the door with the stripped oak, stone bricks, a little bit of an inset with the wall here. I brought the roof line out and smoothed it out a little bit. I think it looks really good. I might want to do an actual lantern instead of a torch. And then I think that facade basically be done. And from across the village, it looks pretty good. Stands up tall above the other roof lines. Sits nice with the color palette. I like it. And once we have a little bit of a lighthouse here, I think that'll look great as well. On the inside, I want these banks of chests to go up about 3 or 4 tall. We'll do either stone or spruce on the ends here. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of a spruce floor with little specklings of oak to make it look like it has some wear. I think this is what I'm going to go with. This stack of bricks here with chests on all 3 sides, and then a little bit of decorative blocks so that we can get into them and all of that. And I think that looks really good. And we'll do the same thing on this side, and then we'll tackle the lighthouse. There it is. I think it looks pretty cool. From a distance, some of the shading is actually pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with how that texture turned out, and I don't have enough glass to finish the top, and I don't have any light sources to add to the center yet, so that is something we'll have to update in the future. It's a good height. I like it up there above the roof line. Here's what I did on the inside. I just sort of took the bottom of the lighthouse and worked it into the end of the building here. So had to do a couple of funky things here, but I think it's okay. Did just the tiniest little mix because this is actually the exterior wall. Moved a couple things around, and then I've got this ladder here. We get to this kind of ugly space first. Right down here, there's not much going on. I might just seal this up so we don't have to look at it. And then eventually when we have some sort of light block, we can just put a stack of them here, and then we can get some more glass and finish this up. You can walk around the edge. I think that looks all right. You look down on the village. That looks pretty cool as well. Yeah, I think that is a really great addition to our village. Again, when we kind of come down here, there's just this weird, ugly space here. And we could just stack blocks around the ladder so that we were kind of in a single tube as we went up and down. That might look prettier, although I don't know how often we're going to go up there. But yeah, very cool. I do want to work on the road today, but I think the next thing I want to do is just some exploration around the ocean. We've got this coastline, and we haven't really explored it all. If we take a look at our map, you can see kind of where we are down there, and then our other village is up there kind of by the mountains, and just a tiny bit of water exposed. So we should probably also add a banner to this sign so that we can see where we are. I think I've got some wool. I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I have some wood. There we go. One of those. Crafting table. Nice. Now I need an anvil. All right, let's go grab some iron. We'll make an anvil, and then we can put a banner on this village. Over here, I had, at one point, grabbed some cows, and I put them in a fenced area over here just so we have some cows if we want them. And let's go in here. We probably could have just grabbed some iron out of the... That's actually smarter. Grab some iron out of the farm. You all have given me a lot of feedback about this space, and I have an idea of what we're going to do over here. And we're going to keep the mine here. I've got a plan for the iron farm, and we are going to rebuild this village, but we're going to do it in a slightly different way. I very much want this area to be all about farming. So most of the villagers over here are going to be farmers, and I will have them doing a lot of our food making, and then we'll have some other like pumpkin farms and things like that so that we can trade with them to get emeralds to use in our other villages. That will come in the future, but that's my plan for this area. Okay, let's make us some blocks. 1, 2, 3. Anvil. Nice. We'll just plop it down next to our crafting table here. And put a banner in there. And we're going to call this town Southland. I got a suggestion for the name Eastwood. And I think that's a really cool name. But then I was thinking, if we have an Eastwood, we potentially could have a Westwood. And then, you know, what if we were farther down? It might be cool to have a South town. So this is probably about as far south as we're going to go. When we look at this map, I think this will be pretty close to the bottom of the map. We will definitely go further east. We'll definitely go further west. Definitely go further north. But yeah, I'm not sure we're going to go too much further south. Let's put the banner in this weird little space here, just so that it is out of the way. Right there. Tap the map on it. Southland. And you know, while we're talking about naming things, I had gotten a suggestion for a pet name at the very start of this series. But we didn't have any name tags, so we hadn't done it yet. So, the first dog, we're going to name Edwiz. This guy is right down here, kind of laying in the bushes. All right, let's see if we can get this guy to go inside here. There he is. Have a seat. And let's scoot you over just so you're not laying in the weird corner. There you go. Okay, let's go do some exploring. Down here we've got our boat. Okay, we are going to head out this direction. I know that there is a underwater ruin over here, but I haven't made a brush yet, and so we can't really do any archaeology until we get a brush. So let's see what's over here. I think I see a shipwreck. Oh, we found a monument. Ooh, it is difficult without a respiration helmet to explore underwater. I fear this is not going to go well for us. All right, let's follow the coastline for a little bit here and see what we find. I think I see a portal. Uh-oh, it got dark. Ah, dark oak. This is very cool. I think I see swamp. Yes, I definitely do. Yes. Swamp is important because that is where you can get mending books, I believe. Yep, it is a swamp. Fantastic. That is great. So, villagers don't spawn naturally down here. Hello, frogs. But if you build a village down here, the villagers will trade the same books all the time, and I believe they're mending books, if I'm not mistaken. Frogs are definitely going to be useful for frog lights. Man, I love this area. So cool. It's a pretty good sized swamp. We could definitely build a village in this area, and I think we'll have plenty of room. Well, there's some pretty interesting stuff out there. We explored a couple of shipwrecks and a portal. I saw some ruins and some other shipwrecks, but I just kind of ran out of room. I ended up doing a boat with chest and started filling up the inventory. And we got some great stuff. We got some armor trims, some low level but nice armor. Got a treasure map. We got a lilac. We got an empty map, got some emeralds. We found some dark oak saplings, grabbed some blue orchids. We found not only dark oak, but we found a swamp biome way, way down there. So that's pretty exciting as well. You know, when you look at the map, you can kind of imagine how the roads are going to start to connect. You know, we're going to have to figure out how to get to those villages that are on top of those really tall plateaus, and then we'll probably head south a little bit down to that swamp. We'll head over, you know, towards the desert, and we'll probably move through the jungle and build a village there. It's going to be very cool when it's well underway. We'll definitely do more of this, but I think today we need to get a little bit of work done on the road. Well, I've done a little bit of thinking here. So I had mentioned that I want this to be a very gradual rise in elevation. I don't want it to be like a trail. I want it to be like a road. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take this up in this direction, nice and gentle, And I think what we're going to end up doing is kind of going into this natural curve here. And then what happens is this curve actually kind of pokes through. So you'll see here as we get over this ridge, there's a lower elevation here. And so I think we might just take it up here, a little bit of a curve, and then go through this lower area here. So it will involve removing a fair amount of terrain and doing a lot of terraforming. But I think that makes the most sense as far as it feeling like a road rather than, you know, a hiking trail or something. Right now, we just have a little bit, man, that's a good looking lighthouse. Right now, we just have a little bit of the path laid out. And it is perfectly straight and goes up exactly at the same time. I think I might stagger some of this as well, just so it feels a little rougher. And we'll see how it goes. I got this because I grew some of the large spruce trees to help with the build. And yeah, like I was saying, some terraforming to do. But let's do just a little bit of work here and see what happens. Oh man, this is going to take forever. So I've gotten a little bit done here, and I wanted to show you some of the progress. So this is what I was talking about it being kind of roughed up, where it doesn't transition evenly. And then I started to add just a slight curve. I'm aiming for that block right there. So you can see from the bottom, it just starts to jog over just a touch. And it feels pretty good. So we've gotten up about that far, and then heading down, you can see we kind of follow it like this. I need to do a ton of terraforming still. This side is not quite as bad as this side, but it looks pretty unnatural still, so we need to fix that. But this is the idea. We're going to build roads from here to everywhere. So let's see if I can get a little bit further up the hill. The slope is very, very slight, so I feel like we're going to end up removing a lot of dirt here, so we'll see how that goes. Well, this did not go the way I planned. That's sort of the story of Minecraft. You come up with a plan, and then you pivot. You can see we've got this nice, gentle slope here, and it's so gentle that I ended up tunneling through the hill. Comes up like this, takes a little bit of a curve. I think I like the width of this hallway. I might widen it one more, and I definitely need to raise the ceiling up. But it's going to come along like this, and then do a little bit more of a gentle curve, and come out here. And you can see here, pretty much lines up with the pillar we had. So right down there, that's where the tunnel comes out. So, yeah, not too bad. I kind of imagined that we'd come up and over, but this is just as good, I think. And then we'll take the road across to there. And way back in episode 1, when we spawned into the world in a jungle. And that jungle, just over this hill over here. And I would very much like to take the road over to the jungle as well, and then potentially from the jungle over to that desert. So it's going to be really amazing and very cool once we start getting the network laid out. I think at one point I would like to get a horse so that we can utilize a horse on the roads. That way we can move much, much faster. And I think it's going to be great. I'm very excited. We got quite a lot done today. We got our lighthouse installed. We finished up our base here in the Southlands. And we've got a nice start on our road. Plus we did a little bit of investigation in the ocean and did some driving around and checked some of that out. So pretty productive all in all. And I think that's where I'm going to wrap this one up. If you want to be like these folks and help support the channel, click join down below. Memberships start at 99 cents and it really helps me out. And thanks for watching. I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure, and I hope to see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.